We're only minutes away from the start of the Maney Premier League Women's Grand Final. Representing the teams today are for Apollo, Angela McDonough, Isabel Fuster, Dahlia, Nopfar Rad, Denny Atkin, Nikembu Akin, Kira Kushel,
Sometimes the hardest thing to overcome isn't an opponent, but an injury. At Wakefield Sports and Exercise Medicine Clinic, we have Adelaide's best team of sports doctors, physiotherapists and allied health practitioners to help you overcome injury faster. From emergency treatment through to rehabilitation, we're here to keep you moving.
Good afternoon and welcome to MGA Park here in Mount Gambier for the Barry Maney Group Limestone Coast Premier League, and it is a nice sunny afternoon on Bishop Road, and we are here for the Senior Women's Grand Final. It's about to get underway in just under 15 minutes time, and it will be Apollo Football Club versus International Soccer Club, and these two teams have met a few times throughout the season, and we look forward to a very good match coming your way here this afternoon. With me in commentary, my name's Nathan, and with me is Lana. How are you, Lana?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good. Now, you're a player with Millicent United. Your team got bailed out in the first week of the final,
Yeah,
so
right.
Finished fourth for the year, but still improving down there in Millicent.
Yeah, we are.
And certainly had some good wins throughout the season, and building with some players coming into the side this year as well, which is fantastic, and elevated you into the top four.
Yeah.
But today it's International and Apollo here. They both know what grand finals are about, and we look forward to seeing what happens over the next 80 minutes of football, and maybe more. Who knows whether we go to extra time or a penalty shootout. It is, of course, the Barry Maney Group Premier League, and we thank them for being the major sponsor of the league down here in Mount Gambier, and together with Cooper's Brewery and Fennel Forestry, we like their partnership, and it's been working well all season. We'll go through the list very, very soon of both teams. The players will do a walkout, and we'll have the national anthem and plenty of exciting football, hopefully to show to you wherever you may be tuning in and listening to the broadcast. I've heard that there's certainly people interstate and overseas as well. My hairdresser on Thursday was actually telling me that there's some people going to tune in Sweden. So so hopefully our football is going global. It is the global game. And certainly, as we can see on screen, some of the celebrations of the Central's under-16 girls after being runners-up last year. You were holding that cup last year, Lana.
Yes, great memory to hold.
so well done to Centrals. They've certainly been the league leaders in the under-16 girls competition all season. So well done to their coach Brian Caulfield and the team around him, and I'm sure the girls will be very excited, especially those as they call them, graduating players that like yourself last year that won't be in this competition next year, and most of those players have probably been playing the senior women's throughout this season anyway. So, but for International and Apollo, obviously Apollo may need to call on a couple of of their under 16 players. I think there's only there's 3 named in their side, so they'll be calling on them at various stages throughout the game. Obviously for international, they're fresh. They didn't have to play in the earlier game today, so all named full squads. And over the last couple of weeks, obviously Apollo had a week off, so any sort of niggly injuries should be hopefully gone. And for international, they travelled last week to Narracor and defeated Blue Lake in a very close game. It was 2-2 for a fair majority of the second half, and then international were able to get a goal from a set piece. Caught Blue Lake not ready at all, and a great shot from Tess Andrews past the keeper. So that sees international into today's grand final. Obviously reigning premiers were Blue Lake, so we'll have a new reigning premier by the end of today. International have won the women's premiership before, and Apollo have obviously were runner-up last year, so we're looking for redemption on grand final day. But picture perfect conditions here, Lana.
It's beautiful, no wind, beautiful sunny skies today.
And looks like some of the officials are coming out, club officials are coming out of the change room area, and we've got a few formalities that will obviously be coming through into the pre-game. The under-16 still celebrating over there. Just don't know whether it was like a Gatorade or whether it was just a water, but they're enjoying the celebrations as they should. Well done to those girls. So we're waiting for players and match officials to come out, and our MC to get things underway. And as we said, some of the club officials coming across the pitch at the moment, and the substitutes for international. So it looks like Steph Gilbert may not be starting. Amy Nitschke, she doesn't look well at the moment. Do you reckon she looks right?
No,
she's not looking.
Something going on there. Yeah.
So maybe they're not quite as full strength as as the team sheet might look. So it looks like the match officials are just about ready to make their way down, and hopefully not too far away from getting the official proceedings underway for a 2 p.m. kickoff here local time. I think we worked out that it was around about 7:30 in Stockholm, so
Yeah, wow.
so that's AM this morning.
Early morning.
So for those that may be on the live stream, good morning to you. But it's a great afternoon here in sunny Mount Gambier. Who said that it was always cold and wet down here? Wind back 12 months ago, and it certainly was. We know that for grand final day. So our competition coordinator there on camera, Tracy Dicer, she's done a marvellous job in coordinating the season that we've had from her position up there in Adelaide. On screen there now, the Apollo captain Beck Peters and April Hockey from International. So they're our captains. We've got mascots to walk out with our playing group, and certainly both Beck and April know football extremely well, and very good leaders of their side. So hopefully today they play a great brand of football, which we know both sides can. And what do you think might be the difference between the sides today?
I don't know. I feel like it's going to be a fairly even game today. Inter does come out fighting, so hopefully Apollo can step up to their level in that perspective, but should be a very good game.
We should hope so, and the match officials now are making their way down the players' race, and we've got Thomas as our centre referee, and we've got Augustin and Eric as the two ARs. As the playing group make their way to the pitch. We're looking forward to this great spectacle of football that is going to come our way. So for those that may not be familiar with the Limestone Coast game, Apollo is the team in the blue and white and International in the black and blue, as they come out to the ground with their mascots. We're looking forward to what is to come here in the grand final.
Would you also please make welcome to the field of play the presidents of Apollo, Andrew Donoghue and Jerome England, the president of International, Michael Pryor, the Limestone Coast and Football Association CEO Chris Fleetwood, and the Football South Australia General Manager of Football Operations George Jordanis.
I'm not sure whether that sort of came across very well over the audio feed, but we're welcoming the club presidents out onto the field, and also George from Football SA, as well as the Limestone Coast Football League CEO, Chris Fleetwood. So they're just congratulating the players on reaching this milestone game, grand final for 2023. And at half-time there's some mini-roo matches here too, Lana, between the two clubs, and we'd say that some of the number of the mascots that are out there will be participating in that.
Yeah, very exciting for them, yep.
So they get to pull on a Guernsey on grand final day, and yeah, be a bit of a showpiece. So we look forward to seeing that here at half time.
I mean, I get it. I'm not very good.
Club presidents just finishing off their part, and we should very soon be able to give you the team lineups and the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the Australian national anthem.
Oi, guys, get up. Go.
So we're nearly set for a start in this Barry Maney Group Limestone Coast Premier League Grand Final, and we'll have a run through of the sides. And we've got for the Apollo Football Club, Ange McDonough. She's a star in goals. She's going to be instrumental in this match. Isabel Frooster, Dahlia, Nop. She's very, very good on the ball. Denny Atkin, the league's equal goal scorer, top goal scorer for this season. Also in the team is number 39, and that's Nakumwe Kin, Kira Kuchel, Charlotte Stafford, Zoe Brooksby, Jancy Hatu, Beck Peters, the captain, and starting as substitutes, Riley Coochell, Paige Hastings, Sarah England. Also, we've got Chelsea Ray and Maddie Ryan. So that's the Apollo lineup. And for international, we've got their lineup is obviously in goals would be Naomi Zweinenberg. We haven't got a graphic for international as the coin toss is done, and it looks like Beck's won the coin toss. And they're going to kick to the left of screen, I would suggest. And April Hockey and Beck Peters walking off. So we will run through the international lineup, and Naomi Zweinenberg is the goalkeeper, and she's had a great season. April Hockey, the captain. Ariana Turner is a bit of a live wire too, young Ariana. Georgia Asimakopoulos, Leonie Robertson, Sky Robertson, Isabella Morello, Tess Andrews, Charlie Hockey, Evany Rex and Steph Gilbert starting. And on the bench for international, Satumi Yayama, which is a bit of a surprise. And also Jessica Bradley, Amy Nitschke, as we mentioned before, and also it is Ashara McManara as a starting substitute for international. So they're one lighter on the bench than what Apollo are, which is interesting. Said may have an injury or two. Yeah, maybe some player unavailability, but yeah, there is a couple more players on their list that aren't able to be here today. And coaches for Apollo, Paul Prentice and also James Stevenson, and international, Ricky McRobert has done a great job with his girls for a number of years, and Laurie Seller joins him in the coach's box for this match as well. So we're looking forward to it. It is the grand final, Limestone Coast Premier League, and Beck must have switched it around. She's kicking to the right of screen. So, although no, she must have chose the kick-off, and April must have flipped it around, because it looks like Apollo's got the ball.
We've got Dahlia starting with the ball.
The pitch is absolutely bathed in sunlight. There's a little bit of shadow in the western end, call it goal area. Not quite out to the penalty spot, as we get this game underway for the 2023 grand final, and the ball in the back line, and that's Nakamwe there pushing the ball to Stafford, who pushes it forward, but unable to run onto that. Is not. So it's a throw in, cut off by Stafford, and back out for another throw in.
Good start from Apollo here.
So Isabella Morello chooses not to take that throw. Ball down the wing, another throw for international, move forward, and that's Stephanie Gilbert putting an inside ball in, but unable to get to that was Isabella Morello back on the ball, pushes it in. Gilbert runs on, but that's going to be cut off by McDonough in goals for Apollo. And the bright pink. Big kick over halfway. Andrews tries to control. First time pushes the ball through to Evany Rex. Evany's unable to get it, and it is Jancy doing a bit of fancy footwork, but cut off there by Nakamwe, and pushes the ball through, but that's too far forward for the Apollo forwards, and it's Ariana Turner with a little bit of work to do. Ball's not out yet, and now it looks like it is, and it's going to be a goal kick.
Make sure you play the whistle.
So she thought the ball was out over the sideline, but they end up with the ball anyway, international, as Zweinenberg pushes the ball wide out to Georgia Asimakopoulos. It's an Apollo throw now, inboard to Beck Peters, good control with the upper body, pushes the ball through, but Denny Atkin unable to run onto that, and it's Charlie Hockey happy to push that one into the Apollo player and take another goal kick. I think I said April, that's Charlie Hockey.
Yep.
So Zweinenberg, just a short one to Andrews inside the goal area. She pushes it wide to Robertson, and that one is Sky Robertson, number 8, and Leonie, her sister, is number 7 for international. Bella Morello now, yeah, she wins that throw in. Jancy getting the last touch on that for Apollo. Ariana throws the ball in. Stafford pushes the ball back out, so about 20 metres further up will be the throw-in. You're watching the Barry Maney Limestone Coast Premier League Grand Final broadcast, brought to you by the Barry Maney Group. It's nice to go to someone who cares. One-stop automotive dealer here in Mount Gambier. You can contact the team on 87213400. 400. And we must also thank Football SA's partners, Fennel Forestry and Cooper's Brewery, proudly supporting the football here in the Limestone Coast.
Great ball, Charlie!
Morello's been busy early, Lana.
Yeah,
pushing that ball in.
Moving the ball around well in the middle there.
Ebony Rex pushes one to Sky Robertson, but that's going to be too far forward for Gilbert to get to, and taken in the hands by Ange McDonough. Ange with a big kick over halfway once again. Bit in the back there from Andrews, but gets away with it on Dahlia. But Apollo will get the throw in for this.
Good, Sky. Good, Bella.
And Knopp throws it in. Dahlia's unable to get it over her head, but she turns well on it and tries to have a shot first off, and misses to the left of the goal. So plenty of goals scored this season by a number of players out here on the pitch today as well. And as we mentioned earlier, the leading goal kicker of the year was Denny Atkin, level with Blue Lakes' Jasmine White. But Dahlia with 7 goals, Leonie Robertson with 8 goals, and Ebony Rex 17 goals, which is still more than a goal a game. Not quite as many as Denny Atkin with 20 for the year for Apollo, but if you can get a goal a game, you've had a pretty good season, Lana.
Yeah, that's it.
So, and you were the 4th biggest goal scorer, goal a game for you,
yes,
16.
It was.
So
good season.
And that one's in the far corner, and Apollo bring it back into the middle, but it's been cut off by Rex. She's looking for Leonie Robertson there. Leonie gets a bit of a nudge, but it falls an advantage here with Ebony Rex. She's got Gilbert on, and April Hockey wide, but it's going to be cut off by McDonough using her feet outside the penalty area. Finds her own teammate, which is fairly good for her to do that from there. And Atkin pushes the ball into Dahlia, and back to Atkin in the penalty area. Dahlia runs onto her own ball in the end and has a shot, but Zweinenberg very easily taken to keep that one at bay. Naomi Zweinenberg sends it not quite to the halfway. Rex just gives it a bit of a flick to Gilbert. Back to Rex. She pushes wide to Leonie Robertson, but she's not going to be able to run onto that one. So we've got a throw-in, and it's going Inter's way. So it's Sky Robertson to throw it in, and there's a bit of a knock there, but play goes on. Apollo now with the ball, and it is moved inboard, but cut off by Andrews, and she's a multiple-time league best and fairest winner, and she's got speed, she's got ability, great skills, and an excellent team player too, and that's an all-round sports person. And yeah, now with Atkin, Andrews and Peters go in for that one, and Apollo come out the better of it. Ball pushed by Knopp, back to Peters. She's unable to get it. Gilbert unable to keep it, and Peters pushes the ball over the line. So we've got a throw in, and it is Georgia to take the throw. Looked like a bit of a foul throw potentially there, but gets away with that. She'll have another go anyway. And that one is in to Bella Morello, who couldn't find Gilbert. Ball back with Apollo, but now Ebony Rex does well as a sort of a CDM role by the look of what she's playing. Out to Ariana. She's sort of cut off there by Jancy. Jancy working well. And it's a foul infringement there. And that will be a free kick to Isabel Frewster. Peters will take this. Ebony Rex just doing up the shoelace. Beck Peters looks for some options. Deniakin with her back to it. She's trying to find Dahlia, who she does. But Weinberg very well onto that ball.
Options early, Inter!
So Apollo absorbing that pressure that Inter are applying early, Lana.
Yeah.
As Zoe Brooksby and that'll be Riley Kuchel, Kira Kuchel. Yep. At the back. That one's cut off by Leonie Robertson and only easily taken by Amy in goal, Ange in goals.
Great pressure, girls. Keep working hard.
So we're 8 minutes in, and it's 0-0 here in the grand final, the Barry Maney Group Premier League, and it's our Women's Day today. If you've only just joined our broadcast, welcome to you. Glorious sunshine here at Bishop Road, MGA Park, the home of Gambier Centrals, and a good crowd in too this afternoon. As that one will be cut off by Andrews before Dahlia can get to it. Tess Andrews, Dahlia puts the challenge, and Andrews awake to it and gets back onto her own ball very well. Charlie Hockey sends a long ball, but cut off by Zoe Brooksby, who sends it back long, and that one's past the defender on the far side in Georgia. Not unable to control that, but it goes to Atkin. She pushed the ball in to Peters and Frewster, but they're unable to get there. International send a high, long ball. Kushel's going to cut this one off and use her keeper by foot. McDonough sends it back out high, but over top of the captain Peters and Ebony Rex. Pretty matching on height, those two, and there'll be a good match up all day. It's called for a handball there, but that's natural body position, and we'll keep going as Ariana pushes the ball, gets her own ball back, and sends it wide to Robertson. Robertson in good clear space, into the top of the penalty area now. She's got options on in the middle, but doesn't use, and straight to McDonough. High ball into the middle of the park, and it's bouncing well for Dahlia. She's got to get around Charlie Hockey, and does, coming into the penalty area, into the shade, brings the ball in, she cuts it back to Atkins, she's unable to control, but Peters is on it, and she had probably a little bit more time than she knew there, Lana.
Yeah, that would have been a great opportunity.
Just unable to control the ball and then get a shot off.
Yeah.
Guy, keep working hard, talk to Evie.
Probably first real opportunity for Apollo, and it's Nakunwe in the back corner, and she gets around Gilbert, but unable to keep it in. Steph Gilbert applying a little bit of pressure. Ball now thrown into Gilbert. She pushes it back to Bella Morello. No, sorry, that's April Hockey. Hockey, the captain for international for third or fourth season now. She's been leading this side. So a throw in from international, and unable to keep that one in is Steph Gilbert. So it'll be a throw to Nakunwe. Gilbert heads that one back out, so they gain a couple of metres, and we'll take two. Ball thrown in once again, looking for Stafford. Charlotte Stafford unable to get around Isabella Morello. A couple of good young players. Ball sent across by Atkin. Frooster unable to get onto it. Think Peters was coming through. We've got a call for handball. And Ariana put enough pressure on to sort of get the arm up there from Beck Peters to give away the foul. So Tess Andrews will be the set piece taker.
It's going to be a great opportunity. First half, get in front.
When I saw the Tess had only scored 4 goals for the season, I'm thinking that's not a good season for Tess, but she's been playing a lot in the back line to strengthen that up, and it's probably been where International get out of some of these games. So
she plays a massive role back there.
So Tess sends the ball past the wall. Frooster gets a foot onto it, finds Kuchel. Kuchel just sends it out of the danger area, and it's back to Andrews, and she's got bit of pressure from Apollo in Jancy, but ball into Ariana, across to Charlie Hockey. Charlie's got options, including Andrews again. Andrews, bit of pressure there, unlucky probably not to get a free. The ball's still in play, and I don't think Ariana's realising that, but we'll keep going. And Inter probably just sort of wasted that little bit of an opportunity there that they had, waiting for a whistle that didn't come. Ball with Knopp. Knopp pushes it back to her captain in Peters. Peters has got Stafford in the middle. She's got a bit of room, but now she's got the pressure applied by Isabella Morello, who does extremely well. She's got April Hockey on wide and pushes the ball through. She's in an onside position and collects that ball. Nkonwe puts the pressure on back to Morello. Morello into the area now, and Nkonwe does well to control that ball and get it away a little bit to Stafford. Stafford with the ball to Brooksby. Brooksby's got an option with Denny Atkin. She's got Charlie Hockey putting the pressure on, and she pushes the ball to Knopp, but cut off by Tess Andrews, as she does so many times. Ball back in, Brooksby trying to cut that one off, gets it on the chest, and McDonough comes out, uses feet to clear that one. Nkonwe keeps it in, looking for Knopp on the left-hand side of the park, but that'll be an international throw-in. Ball thrown in, but didn't actually go in, so we'll take 2 on that one. And Nkonwe cuts that one off, pushes it down, and Dahlia certainly onside. From our broadcast position, we can see that perfectly. She pushes the ball inside to Denny Atkin, but Tess Andrews, once again, she's there. Finds Rex. Rex cut off by Jancy. Jancy back to Peters. Peters pushes the ball to Dahlia, who is on or off. We'll find out in a sec. She's off. Thought it was close, but she's certainly offside, according to the assistant referee. And now we get the call of that one. So for those sort of new to the game or watching, just got to make sure that the player is involved in the active play. It's not an offence to be in an offside position, but if you become involved in the play or take possession of the ball like Dahlia's done there, the flag goes up. So the ball now to Andrews, who pushes it wide to Ariana. She flicks it over top of Frooster and gets onto her own ball. That's very skillfully done. And tried to be cut off by Jancy. Frooster's chasing, and it is Robertson and Frooster going down the left side of the park. She cuts the ball in, and April Hockey's onto this. First time strike and cut off by McDonough. That was great play from International. Started back here with Ariana with that great flick over top of Frooster to get onto her own ball. And here she is back in the action once again. She's got a few options inside, but she chooses to try and go herself. Frooster, sorry, that's Denny Atkin putting the pressure on there. And now the ball back. Atkin once again. She gets around Sky Robertson and crashes into Ebony Rex. But the ball with Beck Peters. As Keishel moves the ball through to Nkonwe. She's back to Peters, and that's a handball from April Hockey. Unfortunately, the arm out from its natural position. So Apollo just get a little bit of a breather. 16 minutes in on this first half of the grand final. Still 0-0. And ball sent by Brooksby long and not unable to control it. And Charlie Hockey quite happy to see that one over top of the shed. So we'll get a new ball and get play underway. And Nakumwe to throw the ball in. Looking for Nop. Nop controls the ball up to Atkin, but ball comes back to Nop. She pushes the ball, but it's only as far as Gilbert. Gilbert sends the ball into the middle, but there's nobody playing a striker position there for International, and McDonough just sends the ball back to where it came from and out of play. It's hard to pick a winner out of this at this point in time, Lana.
Yes, very even at the moment.
As April Hockey flicks that ball through, Brooksby's going to cut it off and send that one to safety. So the Apollo midfield and Nakumwe can get back in defence. Hockey sort of her direct opponent. Throw in for International. Peters with the height advantage in there, gets over top and pushes it back out. So it'll be Hockey to take the throw this time. April looking for options, sends it inside, looking for Rex, but that's cut off by Nakumwe. And she just keeps going. She's a machine. She just runs through, and she's now approaching halfway. But that's great chase from April Hockey. As I said, the forward doing the defending, but great ball through to Dahlia into the middle to Atkin. Atkin trying to push the ball forward. She gets that one back, and a bit of 1-2 bounce there, but comes back out, and Nop, and that is out from Georgia. Asimakopoulos from International. So Nop to throw it in, finds her captain in Peters. A bit hard to control, but she does it okay. Nakumwe pushes the ball back to Nop, back inboard, and Charlotte Stafford unable to get to that one. And it's Sky Robertson onto it, looking for her sister Leone out wide, but cut off by Brooksby. Brooksby only as far as International's defender Ariana, back to Sky Robertson, down the left side of the park, and ball kept in and back into the International defence. Bit of a wasted opportunity, probably had a little bit more time than she thought, as Bella Morello and Ebony Rex worked together with some good 1-2 balls, but cut off there, well read by Kuchel. She finds Atkin. Atkin's got Frooster running and Dahlia, but that's too far forward and easy pickings for Zwanenberg.
Options early.
And she throws it out to try to get some advantage, but it's back with Apollo again. Peters now in the middle of the park, pushes a high ball. It's going to be hard to run onto for Dahlia, and Tess Andrews happy to see that one over the line. So International with a throw in the right back position, and she finds Morello. Morello gets a cut off by Peters, but it'll be another International throw. The throw in is trying to find Hockey, but again cut off by Nakumwe. Back to Kuchel. She finds Brooksby in the last line of defence in the middle of the park, who looks for options, but there's two International players there, and they sort of didn't really communicate too well. And we see the ball out for an Apollo throw.
We've got to get our voices up again, midfield. Ebony, Bella, Sky.
So we've got a throw in, and it's Nakumwe to throw the ball in. Finds Andrews, who sends it straight back over her head. We'll get another ball, and we'll go again. Atkin pushes the ball in, but that's cut off by the International defence. But a ball that's a little bit too far for anyone to chase in this heat. McDonough with a big kick. Andrews uses the thigh well to try and control it. So the ball back now to Peters. Nakumwe and April Hockey go head-to-head once again. Hockey gets the advantage out of that, but cut off by Kuchel, one of these under-16s in the side for Apollo, and she's certainly doing well in this early stage of the game. Just over halfway through the first half, still 0-0. ball now with Sky Robertson. She turns Stafford and comes in, has to go back the other way and pushes the ball into the penalty area, but it's easy for McDonough to pick that one up. Gilbert unable to apply any real pressure. McDonough sends a high ball out to the left wing, and it's Knopp up in the air, trying to control the ball, keep it in play. She flicks the ball back over her head, looking for Atkin, and the ball goes over Atkin's head and now falls to Stafford, and Sky Robertson putting the pressure on and getting the advantage in that, with Stafford putting the ball out of play. Ball thrown in, cut off by Nakomwe. Bit of aerial ping pong from the head, falls to Atkins' feet. She flicks it inside, gets around Charlie Hockey. She's got pressure from Ebony Rex, and that ball cut off well by Ariana and Andrews in the last line of defence before Isabel Frooster's able to get onto it. So we've got a throw in halfway line on the far side of the pitch, or the left side for Apollo. And good challenge there, and Hockey and Nakomwe go again at it, and Peters sends a long ball, but that's going to be out of play once again.
Again, let's get our voices up, Inter.
Got a throw in from Andrews, looking for Bella Morello. It finds Morello, and out of play.
Make sure we're
So
following
Isabella
you,
Morello,
man.
another of those under-16s that's playing in today's game. Ariana Turner does well there, and 2-on-1, and she comes out with the ball. So great work. That's Morello once again. She pushes the ball to Ebony Rex. Ebony Rex has got Ariana Turner on here, and probably wasted that one. Didn't quite get it back into Ebony Rex as she'd like. But International will breathe a sigh of relief, because that'll be their throw-in on our broadcast side.
Make sure we've got options moving in and out into. You've got to want the ball again.
So Ariana Turner throws the ball in. Leonie Robertson, pressure applied by Jancy. Jancy and Sky Robertson go in that challenge, and Andrews steps that over there.
Move.
Looking for the options. Jancy not giving up. Dahlia now with a bit of a run through. Andrews applying the pressure. She does so well in any position on the park. Maybe not goalie, who knows? I haven't seen her in goals, but she's done everything else. So ball out with April Hockey. April looking for options inside, trying to find Morello, but it's cut off by Beck Peters. Beck Peters finds the safety of Ange McDonough, who by foot has to send the ball out wide, and unable to sort of get any Apollo players over there, and the ball coming back in with Leonie Robertson.
Out for a goal kick for Apollo.
Charlotte.
So it looks like we've got our first substitution of the game, and you're listening and watching the Barry Maney Limestone Coast Premier League Grand Final. Our broadcast is brought to you by the Barry Maney Group. Nice to go to somebody who cares. One-stop automotive dealer here in Mount Gambier, and the team can be contacted on 87213400, and they're out there on Jubilee Highway West. Must also thank our partners, as Atkin is on here, so she's inside the penalty area, but that's easy for Zweinenberg. Not much help. Brewster was there for her, but the midfield sort of stayed back. And of course, we must also thank Fennel Forestry and Cooper's Brewery as partners in Limestone Coast football here in Mount Gambier. That ball out of play. We've got a ball with Gilbert. Gilbert inside to Morello. Morello trying to look for options. She's got pressure from Knopp now. She's dropped back into that midfield role, and comes away with the ball to Dahlia. Dahlia cut off by Charlie Hockey, and Nakomwe pushes that ball wide, but I think it's going to go out for a throw, and it does. Asimakopoulos to throw the ball back in.
Izzy, you could drop Izzy. She's free. You're not forward, mate. You're in midfield.
Looking for Hockey, but not far enough. And ball flicked on by Knopp to Peters. Peters back to Brooksby, who sends a high ball to Atkin, but cut off by Tess Andrews by head. Aerial work there by Gilbert, and she's unable to come away with it. A bit of pressure 2-on-1. And now Frewster pushes the ball to Atkin. Atkin's got pressure from Andrews, as you would expect. And wide ball there. Knopp's got to run onto that one. And she's got to look for some options. She plays it back to Peters. The 1-2 doesn't work. And that's cut off by Asimakopoulos. I think we'll just run with Georgia, shall we?
Yeah, might be easier.
So Knopp now with the ball, cuts it back in. Gets around Georgia, but Charlie Hockey's putting some pressure on. She pushes it back to Conway. April Hockey chases her back, so great attacker to be good on the defence as well. As the ball comes out here with Sky Robertson. Elbows out, but it's a bit of natural position, we'll call it there. So she's still with the ball. Brewster putting great pressure on. As Jancy comes in and does well to control that one and take the ball off of Sky Robertson. Turner pushing the pressure on Jancy. Jancy back into the middle to Kuchel, back to Brooksby.
Great passing from both teams so far.
So Riley Kuchel is now with the ball. Isabella Morello unable to get that to a teammate. The ball now with Knopp gets cut off. 2-on-1 again. Beck Peters sends a high ball well over the crossbar and wide.
Tess, get your voice back up. Girls, heads up. Positive, restructure, reset.
So not a great deal of balls out over the goal line for goal kicks. Probably, I think about 5 for Apollo. None for International at the moment. And haven't had a corner all day. So the ball with Sky Robertson. She looks for April Hockey. Looks like we've had a bit of a switch on sides there for April and Leone. As Hockey goes down to the corner. She does well. Back to Gilbert. Gilbert, but cut off there by, it looks like Jancy is still on the same side. So they haven't switched the defenders across at this point. Oh yes, and the Conway is there as well. She's followed Hockey across the ground. So Peters now with ball challenging from Morello. Peters does well and lays it back. No, Conway is out that side where she was, so they haven't switched it. It's Jancy on this side now with Hockey. As Peters pushes the ball wide, looking for Jancy, and she wins that one. Pushes the ball through to Dahlia. Hockey trying to get onto that. And she's come off second best, but the ball with Andrews pushes that out to Leonie Robertson. She's trying to get into the penalty area and cut off by Conway, and she's given away the foul there, Leonie Robertson. So we've got an Apollo defender down. It's a warm day here in Mount Gambier from our standards, for what we're used to.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we've just
called on the sub.
Calling the trainer. We've got Sarah England warming up here. So all 3 of Apollo's under 16 players will be on the pitch. As Conway goes off over the touchline to get some further treatment. And Sarah England, certainly a very capable defender. So it should be an Apollo free. Looks like that is the case. So Zoe Brooksby heads back to take this. See what option she has. She's got Knopp out wide and looks for that option. Knopp back to England, gets her first touch of the game, but it's out for a throw. Gilbert throws it in, looking for Ebony Rex. Ebony Rex has got her work cut out with Beck Peters right behind her. Into Kuchel now, and high ball there by I think it's Riley.
Good girl, that's ours.
Let's get it. Great having twins and the numbers not facing us. As the ball comes in, Andrews trying to control it. She's got the option back with Sky Robertson, but that's cut off by Frewster. Morello and Atkin go at it, but Ebony Rex comes out the better, but only as far as Jancy for Apollo cutting that one off, unable to find April Hockey. And we've got Dahlia, she's onside, yes she is, but the ball beats her to the goal line and out for a goal kick. So still 0-0, 8 minutes to play in this first half, in the shade of the trees on the western side. Charlie Hockey sends the ball out to Georgia, and she's unable to control it. It'll be an Apollo throw-in on the far side of the pitch, and Sarah England to throw it in. Looks for her captain. Peters moving around. Bit of other movement from Atkin and Knopp. She goes for Atkin. Denny Atkin finds Knopp on the left side. She sends the ball across the top of the penalty area, but cut off by Andrews. Andrews runs and clears her opponent, not trying to put the challenge in. She pushes it along to Leonie Robertson on the right side now. She cuts it back into Gilbert, but Zoe Brooksby cuts that one off and sends it out for a throw.
Stop again, Danny. And you, Hazel, to stop. Timmy, you no. No.
So throw in on the far side, and Gilbert unable to control that one. So we'll have a Apollo throw from about the same spot as it was thrown previously by Robertson. Throw from England, looking for Denny Atkin, but cut off by Andrews. Andrews with a bit of fancy footwork and some more just to find a bit of space, but Peters cuts that one off before it can get to Sky Robertson. Ball over the top of Turner, looking for Dahlia to run onto it. Turner and Dahlia go at the ball. Dahlia winning, and Turner continuing to apply the pressure. The ball's still in play, cuts it back in, and Atkin has a shot, but cut off by Zweinenberg. So that was a good passage of play from Apollo. Probably their best movement forward as a unit. And April Hockey, I think, collided heads there with Jancy, and Jancy also feels her forehead. Might need to just have a bit of a look at that, because they certainly both touched their foreheads. So shots on target, International 5, Apollo 3. I think some of the Apollo shots, pretty easy pickings for McDonough though. But as the throw-in from Jancy looks for Frewster. Frewster unable to control it, and Gilbert gets a foot onto that one and sends it, but only as far as Brooksby. Hockey to apply some pressure. And Brooksby puts that one over the sideline for a throw into International. Didn't really have too many other options. So the throw comes back here to Ariana Turner. Turner sends it back to Gilbert. Gilbert's inboard to Bella Morello, unable to get there, but she does the second effort, but still comes away now with Apollo. And it's Andrews that cuts that one off before it can get to Kuchel. And the other Kuchel cuts that one off in the last line of defence.
Good control there. Dahlia.
Oh. And some good defensive work there from International. Ball out here now with Frewster. Hockey continuing to do that defensive work from the front line. And we've got Riley down in the middle of the park. As we get the trainer out. Just under 5 minutes to play. 40-minute halves here in our Barry Maney Group Premier League Senior Women's. And if both teams can go into the break 0-0, it's probably the blessing that both sides want. Nobody wants to drop a goal in the last 5 minutes. And so onto the ground now. International making a substitution, and it is Satomi Unayama coming on. And Riley Kuchel has to come off the field just because she had the trainer head on out there, but she looks like she's good to go again as soon as she gets the signal. So it's a drop ball to Charlie Hockey. Charlie Hockey sends the ball wide, but cut off by Sarah England. as Riley Kuchel's back on the field. Ball sent forward by Beck Peters. So it looks like Beck might have dropped back to push Sarah up that left-hand side for the time being. Well, Sarah looks like she's running back there now. Leonie Robertson, the target here. She's unable to control the ball, but it actually gets a deflection off of Sarah England, and International get another throw in. So Georgia will take this one. Throws the ball long and over the top, but England gets a head on to that just to send it back out. Now it'll be Leonie Robertson to throw the ball in. Leonie Robertson looking for Bella Morello. Isabella chasing that one down. England also chasing two young under-16 players, going head-to-head down in the far corner of the pitch. And Morello does a good turn there, sends the ball inside, but that'll be out for a goal kick. So there's not too much left in this first half. Apollo just need to get the ball out of their defence and hold into it for another couple of minutes. Inter seem to have a bit more of the attack in the last 5 minutes of this half, as Peters and Andrews using the fancy feet once again. Peters sends that one back, but it's going to only be as far as the international defender. And Georgia finds Satomi in for her first run, and she pushes the ball past, looking for Morello. Morello comes back to Robertson, but it's cut off by Knopp. Robertson still with the ball, and Knopp on the far side, and that'll be a throw into International, which is a bit of a win for Inter there to still have possession of the ball in their forward third. Throw in, Morello back to Robertson. She can't keep it in though, and it'll be England to take the throw in. So just over 90 seconds left as Andrew sends that one back over the sideline for another Apollo throw about 20 metres down from where it was. England throws it into Peters. Peters got pressure from Andrews, but managed to find Atkin with the head. Atkin pushes the ball, but unable to keep it in and run onto her own ball. Georgia with the throw. Well, that's caught England off guard. She's a bit dazed from that. Peters over the top of Andrews, but Andrews still with the ball at her feet into Ebony Rex. Ebony Rex pushes a wide high ball to Turner. Turner's got Hockey on, but Hockey's facing the wrong way, and that'll be cut off by McDonough pretty easily in the goal area, penalty area. McDonough sends the high ball. Andrews, the only one really near that, but unable to control it is Riley Kuchel. So it'll be Turner to take the throw. Ariana Turner looks for her teammates, but she's unable to find one, and Riley Kuchel only finds Andrews with her pass, and it'll be a throw to Apollo according to the match officials. I thought that one was off Kuchel, but it's not. We'll throw it in, and ball now with Dahlia. She pushes a high ball. Andrews up with her. Aerial challenge, and Apollo will get this throw in as we're nearly done here in this first period. Throw in there from Jancy, looking for Dahlia. Dahlia with the work to do on Turner. Turner gets the ball well, and that is the conclusion of the first half here, and it's 0-0 at the main break. And got a match on our hands, Lana?
Yeah, we do. It's very even at the moment. Both teams had some good passages of play, and yeah, keen to see what the next half brings.
It's been a great spectacle of football. Some promising attacks from both teams as we look at what I suppose what we would have hoped may have been a goal in the first half. A few promising attacks from both teams, but really no keeper's been tested so far as we look at some of the highlights here. McDonough and Zwijnenberg both with plenty of easy opportunities. No real saves. Maybe the last one of Apollo's here where Dahlia turns and cuts the ball back in. Probably the most pressure that I think Zwijnenberg's been put under. And that's our first half highlights. And we see here 6 shots to 5. And internationals all on target, but not really testing Ange McDonough. As we said before, no corners, just the one offside and a couple of fouls, but the play's been pretty good from both teams. So we've got the Mini-Roos out here on field doing their setup, and we'll be back here very, very soon to continue our live coverage here of the Barry Maney Group Premier League Grand Final. 0-0 at the break.
Sometimes the hardest thing to overcome isn't an opponent, but an injury. At Wakefield Sports and Exercise Medicine Clinic, we have Adelaide's best team of sports doctors, physiotherapists and allied health practitioners to help you overcome injury faster. From emergency treatment through to rehabilitation, we're here to keep you moving. Sometimes the hardest thing to overcome isn't an opponent, but an injury. At Wakefield Sports and Exercise Medicine Clinic, we have Adelaide's best team of sports doctors, physiotherapists and allied health practitioners to help you overcome injury faster. From emergency treatment through to rehabilitation, we're here to keep you moving.
Looking for a wholesale distributor of all your confectionery, snacks, drinks and groceries to fulfill your needs? JB Metropolitan Distributors, your partner in service excellence.
Electricity bills are stinging more than ever. So why not go Sunny? Go Sunny Solar will get you set to get the most out of solar. With no outlay and their anytime payment plan, you can put what you're saving in electricity bills towards paying for your solar instead. Let Go Sunny Solar sort your rebates and planning and let your new solar panels get busy as bees, saving you money. Take the sting out of bills and get in for summer. Visit gosunny.com.au.
At Service FM, we know every workplace is different. Every challenge is unique. That's why we personalise our services to our customers' different needs across different industries. From medical to mining and manufacturing, hospitality to healthcare, commercial to defence. So when you need to create a better work environment, you need Service FM. Proud partner with Football South Australia.
I was heading towards Anzac Highway on Morford Road.
Who's that?
Yeah, it was near the tram tracks. I was actually on my way to soccer training. I do play for the Eagles, yeah. Okay, so that's it? Too easy, thanks.
Who's that?
My insurance people. I was doing my claim.
Huh, sounded like someone local.
They are.
When your car is insured with RAA, your claim is always handled right here in SA. RAA, helping you every day too.
Keep on moving on. Adelaide's five-a-side football competition returns in October. Football Fives is fast, fun for everyone. There's women's leagues, men's leagues, mixed leagues and junior leagues at Service FM Stadium in Jepps Cross.
When you're losing hydration, it can feel like you're up against the world's best. Nothing beats Gatorade to help replace what you've lost in sweat. When dehydration holds you back, Gatorade fuels you forward.
Sometimes the hardest thing to overcome isn't an opponent, but an injury. At Wakefield Sports and Exercise Medicine Clinic, we have Adelaide's best team of sports doctors, physiotherapists and allied health practitioners to help you overcome injury faster. From emergency treatment through to rehabilitation, we're here to keep you moving.
In sunny Mount Gambier, we're not used to it, Lana.
No, very different.
Getting burnt here.
Yeah.
So it's a glorious day for a grand final. Just to let you know what our weather's like. Last year at this time, it was absolutely bucketing down with rain. It was pretty much coming in horizontal out at Mulseed Park. So it's a complete turnaround to the weather, and absolutely bathed in sunshine. The trees on the western end of the ground starting to pretty much fully enclose the penalty area that International will be kicking towards in this second half. And we're looking forward to seeing how this game unfolds. What's your prediction at this point, Lana?
Well, I think it's too even to say. Both teams have had great opportunities, and I think there's definitely a very large possibility that it goes into extra time at this point.
So starting the second half, International will have the ball, and Satomi will be the one that will get the play underway. Just having a look around, it looks very much the Nakumwe's back on for Apollo, so nothing serious in that injury that she had in the first half. So looks like that's just England back off for Nakumwe back on. Other than that, Apollo looked to be the same as what went off at half-time. International, as we saw, made that change just before half-time with Satomi coming on. But Amy Nitschke's come on in right back now, so it looks like that would be Georgia Asimopoulos going off. Looks like Ariana Turner still on the left side.
Yeah,
so,
she's been doing great over that side. So
ball now with Andrews, and she brings it inboard to Charlie Hockey. Charlie Hockey tries to get into their first touch of the game, but that's too short, and knocks onto that, up into the penalty area. First ball comes here from she's unable to keep it close enough to finish that one. Should have been an easy place to the near post, I would have thought then, but a bit of pressure in grand finals.
Yeah.
And ball now back in the middle of the park. Peters, a bit of a nudge from Bella Morello. Ebony Rex puts on a bit of pressure, and Peters now getting the free, no advantage there. Certainly, I think the foul was from Morello on Beck Peters. So Brooksby, Satomi not the legal 10, but I don't think she's posing much threat there as Brooksby sends the ball to the top of the penalty area. Hits Atkin, but falls back to Morello. Nakonwe with the ball, pushes wide to Knopp. Knopp tries to bring it inboard, but cut off by Charlie Hockey. Charlie just sends it long, and it's going to be Kira Kuchel to cut this one off before Hockey can get to it. Hockey applies the pressure and wins the challenge. Down the right, she sends the ball into the penalty area with her own feet, but cut off by Kuchel.
First corner of the game.
It is.
Good,
so we haven't seen how any team defends a corner at this point of the game. And it'll be the captain in April Hockey to send this ball in. Right foot, sends the ball high, but McDonough thought she was out to that, but Robertson had a look at it, and it looks like Ebony Rex has finished. Nobody marking her whatsoever.
Her height in the box, very, very dangerous.
Robertson was instrumental there. I think it was Sky Robertson put the pressure on McDonough, because that looked like it was an easy take for McDonough, but Robertson was right there and put the pressure on. So we see this corner once again, comes in, and it's Sky Robertson putting the pressure on, and Ebony Rex getting the spoils and finishing that one really, really well. So International, the early goal, just 2 minutes in to this second half. Hockey with the momentum now, and Nakonwe getting that ball out. And this is the Barry Maney Limestone Coast Premier League Grand Final. It's just gone up a notch. You can hear it in the crowd now. We've got a score on the board, and ball now with Nitschke, only as far as not. Amy Nitschke pushes the ball inside to Tess Andrews. Tess Andrews pushes the ball forward to Bella Morello. She's onside. She pushes it into Satomi, but cut off by Brooksby. Only back as far as Rex, but Dahlia with the arm out and managed to make contact with the ball, so that'll be a free kick to International. And of course, Barry Maney Group are proud supporters and major sponsors of our league here, and you'll find them on Jubilee Highway West here in Mount Gambier, your one-stop automotive dealer here in Mount Gambier, and you can contact the team on 87213400. 400. As Nitschke throws the ball back into Sky Robertson. Sky Robertson getting the pressure from Riley Kuchel, and now with Denny Atkin. Denny needs to step up. Ball taken by Rex there, and only back as far as Riley Kuchel. Riley pushes wide to Jancy. Jancy trying to keep it in, unable to on the far side. Leonie Robertson leaves the ball for Turner to take the throw. Ball thrown in. Ball back. Ball inside now to Satomi. Satomi and
Robinson misses that one.
That's offside on the far side. So we've got a offside, so Ange McDonough heads out to take that just outside her penalty area, probably around about 6 or 7 yards in the field of play. She's going to move it forward, make it 12 yards. So, as they all do, just roll it forward a bit.
Yep.
So McDonough outside her penalty area, needs to find a player, pushes it down the line, and Frooster onto that. Isabella turns well around Robertson, pushes the ball forward to Dahlia, but too far and cut off by Andrews. Andrews back into Sky Robertson. Lucky she had the time then to take that control, but couldn't push the ball through to Hockey. And now with Peters in the middle, Ebony Rex gets that one to Satomi. Satomi pushes the ball back to Rex. Rex pushes a little one through to Bella Morello, but that'll be cut off by Kuchel, and a corner. So
another opportunity for Inter.
We saw Apollo's vulnerability just a few minutes ago in a corner, and can Hockey create the same result from this one as she sends the ball in? It's a bit further out than it was before, as the ball tries to get cleared from I think it was Riley Kuchel, but McDonough gets that one as the ball now to Atkin, but it's a big bounce and Nitschke unable to control it. It's an advantage to Apollo here with that ball going out, so because the kick out didn't really find Denny Atkin like McDonough would have hoped. So we've got a throw in now from Knopp looking for Peters. The ball cut off by Tess Andrews, as it often is, and she's unable to keep it in on this occasion. So it's about the first time I've ever seen Ricky McRoberts stay in his coach's box, as the ball comes now to Hockey, unable to control it. Knopp pushes the ball in, but it's only as far as... No, Robertson unable to control it, so it's now with Dahlia, as... Oriana Turner cuts in there, as she's done very well this game. Just continues to apply that pressure time and time again. And Robertson goes down. They're appealing for a free, but nothing forthcoming from the match official, as ball now in dispute in the middle of the park, and it's Conway who gets it at her feet, but unable to do much with it, and it's back to Amy Nitschke. She's got Knopp putting the pressure on, who wins the ball from her. Charlie Hockey gets a foot onto it, but unable to do much with it, and we've got a whistle, and that's an Apollo free. I think must have just got Knopp on the way through with the stray foot from Hockey there, I think. That's my call. I don't know how you saw it, Lana.
Yeah, I think that must be the case.
Yeah, I thought Hockey got the ball, but anyway.
David, get in the ball!
Don't know whether we've got a bit of a replay to see, but looks like Peters will be the one to take this. So, yeah, couldn't really see much out of that. So it's Peters now, send the ball in to the near post, but too low, too wide, and no result there. That's not a stat of a shot on target, that's for sure. As we have a look at this again, not something Beck would want to see in replay. Ebony Rex, the only player from International sort of in the wall. Ball in play as International do the short thing, and it hasn't really worked from here because Knopp's on the ball, but she slips over, and it'll be a throw to Apollo here still though. Still in their forward third. Peters now with the ball, back to Knopp, I think that is there. Ball inside, but easy taking for Zwijnenberg in the middle of the goal area as she pushes the ball forward, looking for Bella Morello. Bella Morello uses the chest. Kuchel uses her feet, pushes it wide, looking for Knopp. Knopp turns well on Nitschke as she needs an option. She needs players moving. There's nobody moving for Apollo. Dahlia's there now. Charlie Hockey putting the pressure on Dahlia. She runs down the left. She needs some options moving. There's nothing moving at all. And that'll be Apollo's first corner of the game at the 54-minute mark. So let's see how International defend. Kira Kuchel heading up to be a presence at the top of the penalty area. And it looks like Isabella Frooster to take the corner. Frooster sends the ball inside and not unable to get it over. She tries a third time. And the ball just straight up into the air. Sorry, it's Dahlia. That's not there. As the ball falls to Morello, she pushes it out. Cut off by Brooksby. Brooksby tries to send it back in. and Ebony Rex tries to control the ball, but spills out wide, and it's Ariana Turner with it at her feet, unable to keep it in. Ball back inboard now to Peters. She's had a big workload. It's probably taken late there maybe by Andrews, but nothing given.
We need more boys.
So we've got an Apollo throw on the, an international throw on the far side of the field. And it's going to be thrown in. I think that's
Sky Robertson.
Yeah, finds Satomi. Satomi loses her footing, but Kuchel putting the pressure on didn't get the ball out of that. But Satomi pushes back to Sky Robertson, and now inside. Back into Satomi. Satomi's got April Hockey out really wide here, but 4 Apollo players onto 1. Satomi's still with the ball, and now it's Bella Morello at the top of the penalty area. Great foot in by Zoe Brooksby to control that one without giving away the free kick. It's back to Andrews, and Denny Atkin putting the pressure on as International get the throw. And Tess Andrews wanting to get it quickly back in, but she needs some options. Tries to find Leonie Robertson, but Leonie Robertson gets it cut off by Jancy, who sees it back over the sideline. So it'll be Sky Robertson to throw it in. Sky Robertson to send the ball inside to Morello. Morello with the head, only as far as Brooksby, who clears it back out. Frewster gets the ball, controls it, tries to turn her player, Ariana Turner. Ariana does extremely well, but still the ball with Frewster. And Sky Robertson gets in, gets the ball to her sister Leonie. Leonie's got to push it back to Sky. Sky's running onto that, and she's got options coming through the middle with Satomi, but April Hockey at the back post. Should have finished that one, but didn't. And the ball now with Bella Morello, and Ange McDonough with another fumble. She's not as lively in the second half with her confidence, would seem. Ball back with Andrews. Andrews pushes the ball out to April Hockey, who probably should have had her team 2-0 up, as Nakonwe appeals for handball, but to me, there was nothing she could do there. Her arm was still by her side, and we'll have a goal kick out of all of that. April Hockey, a great chance here to finish as the ball comes across. Ange McDonough just didn't get down to it as well as she would have liked, but enough to put the pressure on Hockey not to be able to finish. And yeah, probably... Yeah, it's a tough call on that handball, but we'll play with the goal kick here, and the ball to Robertson. That's Sky pushing the ball through. That's an easy pick-up for Ange McDonough.
Again, turn and face, track back.
McDonough looking for options to Tommy, just standing at the top of the penalty area as McDonough sends it over the halfway line. Andrews tries to control it. Frewster gets a leg up, but Andrews comes through with the ball, and Andrews loses it on this occasion, but it falls back to Inter. And out wide is Leonie Robertson and Beck Peters, and is it kept in? It is kept in for a throw. So Beck Peters able to get it out over the sideline. Isabel Frewster's been doing a fair bit of work on the right side for Apollo, one of your former teammates, Lana?
Yeah, that's right.
As Kuchel sends it to Atkin. Back to Frewster. Isabel Frewster's got Dahlia on, but goes to the middle of the park. Charlie Hockey makes a bit of a meal of it, but pushes it wide, and Tess Andrews managed to get the pressure from Apollo applied, who Apollo sent it over the line in Dahlia. So Charlie Hockey probably got out of that one with the International still coming away with the ball. As the ball's back in, Turner tries to look for Robertson. Robertson gets the ball cut off by Frewster. Isabel Frewster sends it back to Zoe Brooksby in defence as she sends a high ball, but that'll be easy for Zwijnenberg. Dahlia is not going to get there as she assesses into the sun what the options are. Sends a high ball to Satomi. Satomi unable to control it. And ball from McDonough sent by foot straight back out. Sky Robertson out on the far side. Happy to see that over, and she'll take the throw. Sends it into looking for her sister Leonie, but unable to do that. And that's cut off by Kuchel in the Kira variety. Throw in from Robertson, looking for Ebony Rex. She's got the height. First time ball in, but that's easy for McDonough to take that one.
Apollo's really got to lift now if they want to get back the goal.
Yeah, so we've just gone the halfway mark in this second period, so 20 minutes left, and it's 1-0 to International, the team who finished the home and away season in third place. But as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, they know what winning a grand final's like. They won the Edition 1 under the Limestone Coast Football Association after the departure of the SOFA competition. So they know how to win a grand final. It's something Apollo haven't been able to do. Last year's runners-up.
Yep. And
so
that's out for another corner for Inter.
Off we get, contest and follow it in.
And it'll be Ebony Rex to take this corner. As we see the scoreboard there, 1-0 in the favour of International. Rex with the left foot, Robertson up, and it falls back to Rex. Rex sends the ball back in, and that's on target, and kept off the last line of defence by Jancy, and it was Satomi putting the pressure on. That's well cleared from the player on that back post, and for any juniors watching, that's why you don't move off the back post until your keeper tells you to.
That's it.
So saved a certain goal there. Did Jancy Hatu. As we see the corner come back in again on our replay, and back to Rex for a second dip, and well cleared from Jancy Hatu. As Charlotte Stafford comes back on, replacing Isabel Frooster. She has done a mountain of work, so if they need her back on for that last sort of 5 minutes or so, we'll see what happens there. But Charlotte into the centre of the midfield, and Ebony Rex onto that one, sends the ball back in, but that's to the left of the upright, and I don't know where our ball kids are with the balls. We've got ball kids here today, as one sends one back in now to Ange McDonough to use. As she tries to sort of let her team get their breath back. Charlotte Stafford's by herself, but I don't think she can drop the ball into that position as she goes for Kuchel. That's Kira. Pushes wide to Jancy. Jancy pushes down the line, and that's Zoe Brooksby. Looks like she's been pushed up to where Isabel Frooster was, and we've got the two Kuchel girls in the back line, with Riley. Looks like she's moved back for Brooksby to go out to the right side. Ball into Rex. Rex looks for Robertson, but it's cut off by Zoe Brooksby. And Rex does the work to get her own intercepted ball back, and does well, and looks for Sky Robertson. Sky's got Leone down the line. She pushes the ball through to Leone, but that's going to be cut off by Kira. Kira only back as far as Ariana Turner. Turner and Charlotte Stafford go at it, and Turner comes away with it, pushes the ball to Bella Morello, who's had a really good game in the middle for International. The Conway and Bella Morello go at it. The Conway keeps pushing forward. She just never gives up. She needs some Apollo assistance down the left side. Probably gets a free out of that. No, she doesn't. The ball comes away with Amy Nitschke, and pressure applied, and the ball with Denny Atkin. And back now to the Conway, back to Knopp. Knopp sends it back to Peters, and she pushes the ball over the top to Denny Atkin. Atkin flicks it on to Dahlia. Dahlia, she's unable to get to it, and Zweinenberg comes out well. Good passage of play from Apollo. They need a few more of those if they're going to get back into this game, as the Conway pushes the ball to Knopp. Knopp's got Nitschke to get around. She's got Peters calling for the ball. Goes inboard to Charlotte Stafford. Charlotte Stafford's got Brooksby on, but doesn't find Atkin, who could send it to Brooksby, as Riley finds the Conway. The Conway with Hockey pushing hard. April Hockey comes away with the ball, and we'll see how Riley handles this. Riley pushes the ball and sees it out for another corner to International.
seen a few more opportunities for some goals in this half, so...
Yes, certainly, and this is the fourth corner now for International, and they've played all three of the previous ones extremely well. So Apollo just need to be awake. Ebony Rex with a great left foot, 17 goals for the year in the home and away season, and she scored 2 last week in Naracoorte to get them into this game. She scored 1 today. So, yeah, she's having a great season. Ball hits the match official, and that'll be called back. And it'll be a drop ball to the last team that was in possession of the ball, which was International. So he just throws it back to Charlie Hockey. Charlie Hockey sends the ball to Ebony Rex. Ebony Rex has got April Hockey inside. She finds her. April unable to control, and Charlotte Stafford cuts that one off. But back to Hockey now. Peters putting the pressure on. Hockey gets past Peters, and it is Riley Kuchel putting the pressure on Hockey there. Don't push too hard, Riley. You'll give away the foul. The throw in now for International. Ball with Morello. Morello back to April Hockey. Back to Isabella Morello. Still onside. Ball to Sky Robertson. Gani Robertson tries to clean it up out the back post. And well cleared by Kira Kuchel. With Andrews now in the top of the penalty area, she runs into the goal area. And Satomi, is she onside? Yes, she's onside. Unable to get the nice deflection in, but nearly 2-0. International look like they're the more promising attack team here at the moment.
Yep.
So, just onside, looks like Satomi was when the ball was played. Ball now with Hockey. And Knock falls to the ground. Hockey gets more time to assess what she wants to do. Satomi first time tries to flick it in. Ball now with Leonie Robertson. She cuts it back to Satomi. Satomi's got options inside. Ebony Rex at the top of the penalty area. Sends it first time but cut off by Kira Kuchel. Out wide to Ariana Turner. Turner, can she keep it in? Brooksby puts the pressure on, and it'll be an Apollo throw. Just took the deflection off Turner. Knopp's very sore on this side of the field with looks like a bit of a calf strain potentially, as Kira Kuchel sends that one out, and it looks like she's going to come off too. Knopp, she's done a mountain of work today down this right side in the first half and the second half. So 12 minutes remaining. And Sarah England comes back on for another run for Apollo, wearing the number 42. Not that you can see it under the mountain of hair. So, as the ball falls, I think there's a foul there to, Zoe Brooksby just getting clipped on the back by Sky Robertson. As we take a little bit of break in play. Looks like Brooksby's going to be okay. She's up and moving around okay. So in the shaded part, it's moving further out as the afternoon goes on. We'll have a free kick, not a throw-in. She's still holding the ball out there was Jancy, but Brooksby's going to come back and take the free kick that she won. I think it was probably a few more metres ahead of where the ball is, but she's going to kick it from there. Looks for an option, but only finds Robertson in the Leone type for International, as she finds Andrews. Andrews to Turner, back to Sky Robertson. Turner with the throw. Plenty of movement from International, and she finds Leonie Robertson inside there, but she's unable to get onto that one, is Sky Robertson. The sisters working well together, as Leonie sends it into Satomi. Satomi's got Bella Morello with acres of space, but it's too close to the penalty area and cut off by Riley Kuchel. Only back as far as Andrews for the central defensive midfield role that she's sort of pushed up a bit in this half. And Inter have certainly been more attacking, pushing Andrews into that midfield role. and sort of playing the 3 across the back a little bit more. Ebony Rex sort of playing that CDM role. But then she was the goal scorer, so pushing forward when she needs to.
Yeah.
So just on 10 left to play out in our standard time here on the Limestone Coast Football Barry Maney Group Premier League. As the ball with Dahlia sending it inside, but that's easy for Zwijnenberg once again. Really hasn't been tested at all, Zwijnenberg. A little bit of pressure earlier from Dahlia's one-on-one, but Dahlia didn't really finish as she probably should have. Ball now out with April Hockey, captain for International, looking for another premiership, just 10 minutes away from the possibility of that. Ball back with Nitschke. Nitschke sends a high ball inboard. Charlotte Stafford unable to control it. Bella Morello onto it. She turns well, steps over the ball, gets it back, sends it down the line for April Hockey. April Hockey cut off by Nakonway, and ball's out according to our assistant referee. And be a moment for a little bit of breath catching.
Into taking their time.
And we'll take 2 with the throw again with Hockey on this near side. Finds Morello. Sarah England putting the pressure on, but Bella Morello turns inside, then back out down the line to Hockey, cut off by Nakonway. And Hockey just taking her time, getting some breath back. International can afford to slow the game momentum down a little bit. She sends it back inside. Beck Peters is going to cut that one off, but she's got no options at all out on that right-hand side. Since Isabel Frooster's gone off, it's sort of, that's sort of a bit lost out there. Brooksby now and Peters together in the middle. Peters gets that ball, sends it through Dahlia and Ebony Rex running toe-to-toe. Zwijnenberg out, that's a bit of pressure, and just buys a bit of time as the ball goes out for an Apollo throw. And this is the final stages of our normal time coming up. Barry Maney Limestone Coast Premier League Grand Final Senior Women. And we must thank, of course, the Barry Maney Group for their support of our whole premiership season. It is nice to go to someone who cares. Jim and his team at the Barry Maney Group out on Jubilee Highway, always supportive of local sport, great automotive dealer, around for almost 50 years. And you can contact the team on 87213 400. And also our partners in Fennel Forestry and Cooper's Brewery supporting Limestone Coast football here. And the ball now out the right-hand side with Andrews doing the defensive work, but Brooksby putting the pressure on.
Keep it here! Keep it here!
And it's a goal kick for International. Girls will be in no hurry to want to bring this ball back into play. Denny Atkins standing at the top of the penalty area, just on the outside of it. All the opposition players need to be on the outside. As Dahlia puts the pressure on Andrews, but she comes away with it, pushes it wide to Turner. Turner unable to keep the ball in play though. Throw in from Apollo as Zoe Brooksby's taken down by Andrews and gets it's just a throw in, no foul. Ball thrown back in. Andrews cuts that one off. Dahlia unable to control it initially. Throw in from Dahlia into Denny Atkin, but Sky Robertson gets back and does well. Ball sent back in by Dahlia, but that is over the goal line, and it'll be another goal kick.
Apollo really needing to switch on now. Not long to go. Just under 5 minutes.
What do you think Apollo should be trying in this last 5 minutes?
They just need to make sure they're first to the ball. Really using their body, getting up to the same level as International.
Do they look at just trying to go to a 3-man back line and pushing an extra player forward.
That could definitely be an option.
Stafford trying to get control of her own ball, but cut off by Sky Robertson. As Jancy unable to do much with it. Leonie Robertson comes away with it. And on the far side there, ball sent out of play by Kira Kuchel. So it looks like they are putting Frooster back on for that last effort, warming up here in front of our commentary area as Kira Kuchel sends that one high and long. Dahlia is the only option up there for Apollo, and she wins the head on that one, but it's going to beat them to the sideline, and that'll be a throw-in for International to be taken by Amy Nitschke. Bella Morello bounces over her head. England gets a little bit of a touch on it and finds Charlotte Stafford. Back inboard to Charlotte Stafford. Charlotte's got to find a teammate, and she does in Dahlia. Dahlia to Denny Atkin. Unable to control it, but she gets onto it in the end and back onto it. Pushes the ball to Brooksby into the penalty area as Brooksby has a shot just wide. Promising for Apollo in these final few minutes. Apollo need to probably make this sub sooner than later if they can. I think you've got to take a defender off and push an extra player forward in a grand final when you're trailing 1-0.
Yeah.
All I've got to do is get it to a level score, and we play 15 minutes each way in this grand final as Andrew sends the ball high. And that's sent inside by Leonie Robertson, but it's cut off by Kuchel. Kuchel's ball's cut off by Bella Morello. Bella sends it forward, but Robertson unable to get onto that one as Jancy sends it back, looking for Knopp. Knopp, who was a bit worse for wear before, is out there once again. And ball out with Turner on the far side, and she wins the throw. So we've got just under 3 minutes left, and Apollo need to find the equaliser here somehow. And Brooksby now with the ball, sends it long. Denny Atkins onto that one. She's got pace to burn as she gets into the penalty area. Tess Andrews chasing well. She falls to the ground. Back to Dahlia, and that's cut off by Nitschke. Well done by Amy Nitschke. She hits Charlie Hockey in the back, and falls back to a bit of safety by finding the sideline. Just over 2 minutes left.
They just can't find the power in the ball today.
No.
Getting it into the back of the net.
Niakin unable to keep it close, but still comes away with it. Back, couldn't find Brooksby, and Turner does well. She chases down the line. She's an option back on Ariana Turner. She's onside, and it's going to be cut off by Kira Kuchel. Yes, it is. As Apollo look to make this late sub. And it'll be Charlotte Stafford to come back off. Just under 2 minutes left in the Barry Maney Group Limestone Coast Premier League Grand Final. And as Frooster comes back on the pitch. As I'm just trying to make sure, I'm sure that our time clock is right, and yeah, we've got 4 or 5 to go, you reckon?
Is it 45?
So there's only 40-minute halves in the senior women's, so yeah, so I'm pretty sure we're into our final minute here. As we see the ball thrown in on the far side. And Beck Peters comes away with it. Back to Kuchel. That's Kira. Across to Riley. Riley pushes the ball wide as Sarah England runs onto that one. Sarah England's brought to the ground, and she'll win the free kick.
Kira, go up as well. Kira, go up as well. Go. Izzy, go on the back post. Follow it in. Come on, Beck, get that in. Get that ball in.
As we... So, yeah, so our time clock is out on our broadcast, so we do have 6 minutes left. Sorry to those following that. Looks like it was reset to 45 at the halfway mark of the game. So bit more time than we thought as Peters sends the ball in. And she'll be asked to bring that one back as our time clock does reset correctly now to show that we've got just under 5 minutes remaining in this one. As Peters sends the ball in, it's cut off by the international defence, but Brooksby chases it out well. She's going to get it taken away by Turner, who's had a great game for international in the back line. Unable to keep it in, but buys them a little bit of breathing space. Ball back in from Apollo once again. They'll get another throw, yes. So out off the international defender, I think in Turner on that side. Ball to Frewster. Frewster not as far up the park as she'd like to be to try and put some pressure in the attack. Ball comes out to Hockey, who they've swapped sides once again. So we've got Leonie Robertson out on the right, April Hockey on the left now for international, as the ball falls to Dahlia. Well cut off once again by Tess Andrews. It's a throw-in. It's come out the side, not a corner for Apollo. So, although it's a throw-in to Inter.
Yep.
I thought that was off Andrews.
Yeah.
So as we have the throw-in inboard, finds the head of Robertson, I think that was there, but Peters sends it inside to Frewster. Frewster tries to get there, but Bella Morello puts the pressure on, finds Nitschke, who looks for the safety of the sideline, and we'll have an Apollo throw.
Push on.
So just on 3 to go in this Barry Maney group, Limestone Coast Premier League Senior Women's Grand Final. International in the box seat, 1-0 up at the moment as Apollo enter the penalty area. Ball's back out of the penalty area, sent back in by Brooksby. Peters is there, but unable to keep the ball in, and we'll have a goal kick. I think it was Kuchel that actually hit that, not Brooksby in the end. Would have been Riley, number 26. As Tess Andrews tells her team to push up, she sends a long high ball, and Jancy will cut that one off, but can't keep it in play. International with a throw just on the halfway line, and Turner will take this. Looking for April Hockey. April sends it inside, but Zoe Brooksby cuts it off. And that's got to be a free kick to Dahlia there. Yeah. Denny Atkin was offside. If that ball had went through, she wouldn't be able to run onto that. But yeah, Andrews a little bit eager and taking the player out of the contest there. As we have a look at this, yeah, well into the back of Dahlia on that occasion. So we've got a trainer coming out now, which is not ideal for Apollo because there's not stoppage time in our senior women's game, and yeah, obviously Apollo trailing by a goal at the moment. So we really, as we look at that again on our replay, yeah, I think she's certainly copped it in the lower back from Andrews.
Only 1 minute to go on the clock now.
So we haven't got long to go, and I've just certainly they're made aware that there's no time remaining, and obviously one of their prime forwards is currently laying on her back in the middle of the park, as we just see the international goal again on the replay that we have here. The international crowd certainly will come to life in the next 60 seconds if the score remains as it is currently, and it'll be 2 premierships in 3 years for Ricky McRobert and his international women's senior team. So we don't know whether or not we're going to see any further action in this either now, because we have just gone past our allotted 80-minute mark, which is not the result you want to see a match end with a player on the ground and no opportunity to finish this out.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we'll see what the match officials decide to do here, as Tess Andrews just goes over to sort of offer some sort of condolences to the player that she infringed before. So Dahlia is up on her feet, holding her neck. So might have just had a bit of a jar of the neck, and trainer's still out there, but rubbing the lower back. So which is what I thought was where she was sort of hit.
Yeah, that way.
Certainly the international and Apollo players in a bit of a huddle, and Dahlia will have to go off the field of play to because she's had the attention. As we look at a few second half highlights here, and in our game, opportunities from both sides in the second half. International, the only one able to sort of capitalise on them, as we see Dahlia's run there, and opportunities gone begging for Apollo. So we're on the referee's time here, Lana, as we see that goal from Ebony Rex, and that's the deciding moment in this game thus far. Is there any more to play out here? And Beck Peters will send this ball in, trying to find some attack for Apollo to see if they can draw this game level. Minor premiers, and Peters sends the ball. Dahlia is brought back onto the pitch, and Ariana Turner looks for Sky Robertson. Sky unable to control it. Ball now with England. England pushes the ball wide. Frooster's there at the top of the box. Weinenberg a little bit slow off the mark, but she's going to pick that one up. And that may well be the end of this match, as Weinenberg sends the ball high, looking for Bella Morello. Peters is there, not going to give up without a fight. Beck Peters, and she tries to get the ball off Nitschke, but Nitschke finds the safety of the sideline. It'll be an Apollo throw. England to take this one. The international faithful asking for the final whistle to go, and we now have a throw in here from England. She throws the ball in looking for Denny Atkin, but it finds Knopp and Tess Andrews. Tess Andrews sees it over the line, so we're going to have a late no, it's a goal kick. So she just saw it over the line, she didn't touch it over the line, so it'll be a goal kick. And there really can't be too much left in this. I think we had about 70 seconds left of the game when Dahlia went down, but we're on the time of the referee as the ball comes in from Andrews, finds Hockey. Hockey pushes it back to Sky Robertson. Sky header goes to Zoe Brooksby. Apollo need to push forward here, and it is not trying to find their player. Sorry, that's Dahlia. She only finds Satomi, and Satomi's got Hockey on. She is onside. April Hockey brings the ball back into Satomi, but it goes past her to Bella Morello, cut off by Peters, and we've got Leonie Robertson on the near side, unable to keep that ball in, so it'll be Sarah England to take the throw in. The international faithful asking for the final whistle, and it is Sarah England to throw it in, and it looks like this will be it as International Soccer Club celebrates a big victory. They've come from third on the table to take out the Barry Maney Group Limestone Coast Premier League Grand Final, and their second in 3 years, and the Barry Maney Group proud to support our Premier League and Football SA and the Limestone Coast. So fantastic work from International at the start of the game. I said to our camera crew, I said whoever scores first will win. Well, I was right there. That wasn't on camera, so there's no evidence of it. But it is fantastic that we see a very close and hard-fought grand final here in the Barry Maney Group Limestone Coast Premier League. I'm going to try and get out on the ground, Lana. I've just got to change my headset here, entertain the crowd for a bit.
Got all of the Inter celebrating.
And I'll just check my levels here. Yep, we're good.
All good.
So, heading out onto the pitch here at MJ Park, and it is a fantastic victory to International, 1-0, as they head over to their faithful, and we'll see if we can grab Ricky in just a few moments' time, as he supports his team, gives the girls plenty of hugs. They're going to sing their song. We won't interrupt that, but we'll get right in on it.
Good.
So congratulations to International Soccer Club, and Ricky McRobert, congratulations, mate. You've done well. 2 premierships in 3 years. Well done.
Yeah, I don't really know what to say. I mean, I'm not silly. Apollo's an amazing team. They've been a force to be reckoned with all year. Minor premiers. To be honest, they've beaten us 3 times this year. They're a quality side. So to be able to go out there today and come away with the result, it's honestly, I mean, winning a grand final is obviously an amazing accomplishment, but to go up against your hard rival and a rival which has been you all year, it feels pretty awesome, to be honest, yeah.
So some close results right through the final series, and obviously tough conditions last week in Narracourt. Today I think just as tough with our conditions that we're not used to.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in bringing up last week, between Inter, Blue Lake and Apollo, I think all 3 teams are just right there. Like, anyone can win on a given day, and I think that's more so true with our 3 teams. Blue Lake is another incredible team, Apollo and Inter, and I don't think anyone would have definitely known which 3 were going to be here today, or which 2 were going to be here today. And, you know, playing in that heat last week, I think, was preparation for this week, because it's something we're not used to in Mount Gambier.
Absolutely. And I see why Sophie wasn't on the field today, because she's got her leg all...
Yeah, she got an ACL earlier on during the year, so we've had, I mean, similar to every club, we've had our ups and downs. We actually lost 3 of our players this year, just due to injuries. Yep. They've all done their knees, so it's just been a bad year for knees at the club. But again, I'm very much aware that I know Blue Lake had similar issues, I know Apollo had similar issues, so it was just awesome to still be able to both come out, put on 2 full teams, and have what I believe was a decently intense, good senior women's match.
It was very intense, and congratulations once again. I'll let you go and celebrate.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, mate. So, Lana, very well done for International.
Yes, very good game there. We've got Apollo girls a little bit sad about the result today.
Yeah, it's a 1 grand final loss last year and another one this year, so we're going to move in. I'll try and get Captain April Hockey. So, April, congratulations. You're on camera to the world. You've just won a premiership, though.
Yep.
Very happy, I'm
sure. Very.
We're looking into the sun here, too. I'll try and shield you like that.
That's why my eyes are watering, you know, the sun.
Nothing to do with the excitement of it all.
No, not at all.
You played a great game. That first goal, or the only goal of the game, from the corner that you took, and great pressure from Sky Robertson on Ange McDonough, and then Evany able to finish it.
Yep, it was great.
So, is that a practice set piece?
Definitely not. We don't have enough people at training to do set pieces.
But your team's done extremely well. As we just spoke to Ricky, like it's been a tough year for all clubs to get player numbers out here week in, week out. But at the end of the day, there's one premier, and that's your girls. Well done.
Thank you.
Go and celebrate. I think they're waiting over the far side. And I'll grab the international president while we're going, because he's a man that loves the camera. So Michael Pryor, well done. That's one senior premiership win. You're back here tomorrow.
Yeah, got a couple more tomorrow, under 17s and senior men, so looking forward to those ones.
And what did you think of the level of today's game?
Actually, I was really good. Both teams fought hard. It was a good game to watch. I think everyone around enjoyed it, and it was a good spectacle of women's soccer. It was great.
Absolutely, and you couldn't ask for a nicer day.
Yeah. Now Gambier's turned it on, hasn't it? Doesn't happen very often, but we've got it today and tomorrow, hopefully. So yeah, let's enjoy.
Absolutely. So we're going to head on over and try and get as much of this presentation as we can, and see how the ladies celebrate, and we'll find out who our Jenna McCormick medalist is as well. I'm going to say that is a tough decision from the commentary booth to work out who is our player of the game. And have you got any thoughts on that one, Lana?
I think there's a few girls that could definitely be in the running for that. Tess Andrews, she had a great game. So I feel like she could be in the running for that one.
Yeah, I think the word on the street, or on the pitch out here from the international faithful too, is she had an absolute cracker. That first half, she kept everything out that Apollo threw at her.
That's it.
So we're trying to get ourselves as close as we can to bring you as much of this as we can. It's the far side of the pitch here, so hopefully the cordless mic stays in, and we can get as much of the audio of these presentations as we can. So commiserations to the Apollo Football Club. They were the minor premierships. They had the week off, and then they came up against International, who were very, very determined to get a victory. As the players get their way up, we'll just thank the sponsors once again, the Barry Maney Group, wonderful team out on Jubilee Highway West with multiple car franchises, truck franchises, and Jim Canolo and his staff do a wonderful job. Currently doing some renovations down there too on their Jubilee Highway site, but it's great to have their support of the Limestone Coast Premier League. Also to the partners Fennel Forestry. We'll talk more about Fennel Forestry and their scholarship tomorrow, and also Cooper's Brewery, great South Australian business supporting South Australian football, and certainly here in the Limestone Coast. We thank those for their support of our game. Hand over to, I think, the CEO in Chris Fleetwood is going to say a few words first. And some of the officials coming back out of the change rooms, and I think we're nearly ready to get this underway.
Presentations will now be made to the match officials and teams. Please make welcome George Giannanis, the Football South Australia General Manager of Football Operations, and Chris Fleetwood, the Limestone Coast Football Association CEO. Firstly, the presentation of the match officials of the Women's Grand Final, the referee, Thomas Temby. And assistant referees, Augustine Bigirimana and Eric Driscoll. Okay, the presentation will now be made to the runners-up.
Okay, that's what I kept.
And it looks like I'm introducing you guys, so come up for your medals. Angela McDonough. Isabel Fuster. Dahlia. Not far, Rad. Danny Atkin. Ronnie Kushel. Paige Hastings. Nika Wemba King. Cara Kushel. Sarah England. Chelsea Ray. Charlotte Stafford. Zoe Brooksby. Jancy Hatu. Madeline Ryan. And Beck Peters. And the coaches, James Stevenson and Paul Prentice. And the manager, Madeline Ryan. And if the captain and coach can wander back and pick up their trophy, please. Put your hands together for Apollo.
They get their photos taken.
Well, thank you.
Have you ever played in a losing grand final?
Yes, I have a couple of years ago. Yeah, very devastating, ended in penalties, so that wasn't great.
And then you won one last year in penalties.
The next presentation is the Jenna McCormick Player of the Match medal, as selected by the match officials, and is awarded to international number 11, Tess Andrews.
And you were right?
Yeah, Tess had an amazing game. She really deserves the medal.
Yeah, absolutely. That first 40 minutes playing in the back line, unstoppable, and then pushed her into the midfield in that second half, and she continued to dominate the game. So it's not the first time and won't be the last time she wins individual honours.
Premier League, International, if you'd like to come and get your medals. Naomi, what's your word?
Very, very good in the goal last line of defence was Naomi.
Georgia Asimakopoulos. Satomi Aniyama. Leonie Robertson. Guy Robertson. Isabella Malone. Jessica Bradley. Tess Andrews. Amy Litchie. Charlie Hockey. Ashara McNamara. Ebony Rex. And Stephanie Gilbert. And the coaches, Ricky McRobert and Laurie Seller. And the manager, Stephanie D'Agostino.
So there's a few players for international that didn't get any game time, but I'm sure they'll celebrate just as hard as their teammates.
Yeah, correct.
So it's a big game, big day. A lot of heat out here on the park, temperature-wise, and the tempo of the game too. Really highlighting how good our women's game is here in Mount Gambier.
Yeah, definitely a very different day from the rest of the season. So, yeah.
Sophie Charlton
So
and
Satu is there, obviously Sophie as well. 2 exclusions from the team, and as we spoke with Ricky after, just knees not their strong point this year. But both ladies certainly part of this premiership side.
Yeah, very unfortunate for the girls to not be able to play the grand final, but yeah.
So April Hockey and Ricky McRobert with the Premiership Cup.
the Barry Maney Women's Premier League champions for 2023.
We need you even next to the banner.
So that just about concludes the day one, our senior women's grand final, and the Barry Maney Group Premier League premiers of 2023 is International Soccer Club. So thank you, Lana, for your assistance throughout the day. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and there's plenty of these still to come. Although you prefer to play on grand final day, I'm sure.
I think so. It'd be good to get into another grand final in the next couple of years.
So, we'll leave International to continue their celebrations, and we thank you wherever you may have tuned in to our broadcast, and hopefully plenty of comments and things like that on the Facebook and YouTubes and everything else that Football SA have put up to make this game to the world. And of course we thank our partners, the Barry Maney Group, also Fennel Forestry and Cooper's Brewery for bringing us this game today. And it's been a great day. Let's hope tomorrow comes back and is just as exciting for us all.
Yeah, thank you.
So we're going to cross back shortly to our normal broadcast for radio, and it is 5 minutes away from 4 o'clock, and better head back over here to
Sometimes the hardest thing to overcome isn't an opponent, but an injury. At Wakefield Sports and Exercise Medicine Clinic, we have Adelaide's best team of sports doctors, physiotherapists and allied health practitioners to help you overcome injury faster. From emergency treatment through to rehabilitation, we're here to keep you moving.